First at 5, a new call for state lawmakers to take action to stop the surge of illegal immigration into Texas. Texas is struggling to handle a surge of immigrants along the border.
The numbers are reaching record levels now, and since October, U.S. Border Patrol agents have arrested more than 160,000 people in South Texas alone. Many of them are children from places like Guatemala and El Salvador. The numbers have overwhelmed facilities where the government detains immigrants.
The increasing number of immigrants crossing the Texas-Mexico border has some lawmakers demanding more be done to protect citizens. KXAN's Lindsey Bramson is at the Capitol with more on the push for immediate change.
This major push for border control has some state representatives asking for more resources, but it could also mean more money coming out of your pocket. Approximately $1.3 million more a week from Texas taxpayers. Over the phone, State Representative James White talked to me about the recent letter he sent Governor Rick Perry, asking for a special session to address his concerns on what he's calling the crisis on the border.
They precipitate from my constituents. They're concerned about border security. They're concerned about safe communities, and they're also concerned that we're responding to this humanitarian crisis.
White says without the right amount of resources, law enforcement can only do so much. We caught up with Representative Paul Workman, who agrees there's a big problem.
There's no question but what we're in a very large humanitarian crisis with these unaccompanied minors coming across the border.
But Ileana Gilman, the executive director of El Buen Samaritano, says it's about working with them and not against them.
We can build borders as high as they can go, and that still won't keep folks from coming in. And what ends up happening is you end up separating families, and you end up creating disparities in the economic gap in the community.
A community lawmakers say can be safer than it is right now. Lindsey Bramson, KXAN News.
And we did reach out to the governor's office for a statement, but have not heard back from that office today. A lot more of your tax dollars have been used in just the last few years to keep Texans safe by working to secure the border.
Texas legislature passes budgets every 2 years, and between 2008 and 2009, $110 million was spent on border security, and since then the funding has more than tripled. This year and next, more than $330 million will be spent by the DPS along the border.
Of course, it costs money to bring the legislature back to Austin, and they pay the bills with your tax dollars. Each House and Senate member will get paid $150 a day, just like they do during the regular session every other year. Multiply that by a 30-day special session, and the cost for lawmakers to meet comes out to more than $814,000. Next week marks 1 year since State Senator Wendy Davis emerged as a national figure with her filibuster against new abortion restrictions. Those laws eventually did take effect, and this week on a special edition of State of Texas In Depth, we explore the impact that's had on women's health with a visit to one of the few remaining abortion providers in Texas. That is Sunday morning at 8:30, right before Meet the Press.